Hey, welcome back guys to my Dragon Quest 3 Platinum War 3. This is part 18 and we should have just completed the game. So from the title screen we're just going to load back in. You're going to load that save you just made after the credits and you should spawn here. The fun's just begun. Well, not quite. But yeah, you spawn here in the church guys in Tantagal. So what we're going to do first is we're going to warp, assuming you've learned all the spells and abilities with one or two of your party members. Yeah, so as you can see, I've learned all the spells and abilities with the spells and the merchant, but not quite with the monster wrangler. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to warp to Alefgard Abbey. You can change them out early if you want to, but if you do that, that means you're going to have to go back and switch them again later to learn the remainder of the spells and abilities. But if you want to save time, wait until you've learned every spell and ability with that specific vocation before you come and swap it for another one. So at Alefgard Abbey, like I said, Thief and the Merchant, I've learned all of their skills and abilities, or their spells and abilities. So now, I'm going to swap them both for a Monster Wrangler. Yeah, so I know I've already got a Monster Wrangler, but I'm going to swap them for one again, the other two. This is mainly just so they learn the Monster Pylon skill and Wild Side. So yeah, you get a trophy guys for changing vocation for the first time. So because Monster Pylon and Wild Side, you learn that due to the amount of monsters which you've captured. You should automatically learn it once you level up for the first time with them two vocations. But you will not be able to change them for anything else until you reach level 20. So as these two Monster Wranglers, because I've already got another Monster Wrangler I'm going to be learning all the skills with, I'm just going to get them other two up to 20 guys, and so they learn Monster Pylon and Wild Side. But anyway, we're going to warp here guys, we're going to come into the town. Yeah, this is Korik, I believe. Yeah, so you want to come into the shop and hardwood headwear. You're going to make sure you've got at least 4 because you need these for a quest later. So yeah, you want to have at least 4. So that's where you buy them from if you want them. So go and see him. If you don't have 4, just buy a few more until you have 4. And then once you're done in Korik, you can head over to the Merchant Berg, where you left him off early in the game, and he built the town for you pretty much as you progress the story. Now in here, you're going to come in the item shop, come to the NPC, the vendor, and you now want to buy epic aprons. You need 4 epic aprons guys, basically. If you already have 4, you don't need to buy any more. But if you don't, just buy a few more until you have 4 or above. Yeah, so epic aprons need 4 or more, because you need 4 in order to access one of the end game dungeons later. Right, and now, once you've done that, the next plan of attack is to fill out our monster list. So in a second, I'm going to show you a map which I've made. You can find this linked in the description. It's a Google Doc. And you just click on that and it will take you to an image. Basically, in that image, of course, you've got a map, you've got all the sparkle spots listed, all the medals and whatnot. But at the side, in like a tab, I've also put down all the monsters and where you can find them. It's not a like definitive list. I mean, there are other locations you can find them, but I've pretty much put their optimal spot to find them, where they appear the most often, and where you can also find other monsters at the same time. And the numbers in the list, if you actually go into the info monster list and click on the monster, it'll basically show you its number. So that's kind of how I've gone by this. So if it says 006, sort the list by numbers, and it will be the 6th one in that menu. And this is a map guys, so this is what you'll find linked in the description. Of course, it'll be better resolution, so you'll be able to zoom in more. You can't really see much there, but in a second I'm going to put the tab on the left on the right side of the screen, which is the best area. And so that's kind of what you want to be doing now guys. So for now, you want to fill out every single entry in the enemy list up to entry 128. 128 is basically going to be in the end game dungeons, which we have not gone in yet. But yeah, you want to fill up every entry guys up to 128. So 127 should be your last entry which is filled. Don't worry about the bosses, you're going to get all the bosses naturally, which are basically like the final entries. But yeah, just go through, guys, filling out your entries. Like I say, you've got there the locations, and we're going to find each of them monster types. So just go through until you filled out all of them, except for the post-game areas, which are the last, basically the last 6 lists on that tab, on that list there. The last 6 from the bottom, they're all in post-game contents. Where you got 3 question marks and it says floor 3, and another 3 question marks and it says floor 4. Yes, that is all the post-game content. So you basically want to fill out everyone up until there, and enemy 127 should be your last. And as you can see me doing here, when you warp to specific dungeons, you might have to move into the dungeon a little bit in order to reach the spot where the enemies spawn. And if you seem to have been in like 5 or so battles within the same spot, and the enemy you want don't seem to be spawning, you just move around a bit more. That's what I sometimes do, because sometimes it seems on different spots on the map, certain enemies might have more chance to appear. But normally in that location I've given, you will get them enemies to appear at one point. Yes, this spot as well. Yeah, this is just outside the castle of the Dragon Queen. So yeah, walk through all those spots, guys. You might want to do it all in order, as I've listed it. You know, work from the bottom to the top. And in doing this, you should hopefully get the monster wranglers above level 20. So that's it. I've got all the enemies up to 128. And as you can see here, all my monster wranglers should be at 20 or above. And what I'm doing right now, I'm actually using all my seeds on the main character. So all the seeds you see me holding up until this point, yes, I am using them all right now on the MC, on Opti. You can use them on your other party members if you want to, but the problem is when you change vocation, they lose half of their stats. So you're kind of wasting 50% of them seeds that you use. So they're best off being used on the main character, or waiting until you've got a final vocation which you want. Yeah, so we're all above level 20. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to walk back to Ultrage Abbey, and I'm going to swap them to for something else now, which I will need to level up and learn all their spells and abilities. So yes, back to Ultrage Abbey, and then once you've done this, we're going to crack on with the first post-game dungeon. There's 2 of them. So back here, so the Monster Wrangler, the proper Monster Wrangler, which I've had from the start of the game, he's still learning his spells and abilities, so I can't change him up just yet. But them 2 which we changed at the start of the video, like I said, I only wanted them in order to learn Monster Pylon and Wildside. That's all I wanted. So now, that means basically every member of my party can use Monster Pylon. So I'm going to change the Thief to Gadabout, and I'm going to change the other one, sorry, not a Thief, basically one which is a Monster Wrangler, which I changed just to learn Monster Pylon. I'm going to change one of them to Gadabout and the other one to Sage. But I've kept my Monster Wrangler, which I'm learning all these spells and abilities on. And then all I've got left to max after this is Warrior and Martial Artist. Good thing about Gadabout is at level 10 or 12 or something, he learns an ability called Whistle, which makes an enemy encounter just trigger straight away, which is really good. And you get a trophy, guys, for swapping into a Sage. Right, once you're ready, warp to the castle of the Dragon Queen. Yes, and you want to be Sage because Sage is really good for killing some of these endgame enemies. And he learns another attack called Puff, which can be good for farming metal slimes, which I don't really like, if I'm honest. Just like I don't like farming the King Hydras. Right, so we're good to go, guys. Cracking on with this post-game dungeon. Yeah, so I've got one at the moment. I've got a Gadabout, I've got a Sage, and I've got a Monster Wrangler. And I'm going to keep hold of them until I've learned all their spells and abilities. Yeah, so now you can go in this portal, guys, and it'll take you to the first post-game dungeon. You'll spawn outside to begin with, and you can head into the secret spot to the northeast, where you're going to find a monster. Yeah, monster in here, guys. I think it's only a monster. I don't think it's any hidden items. And when we do get in this dungeon, what I've done in order to make this video a bit shorter is I've speeded up most of the battles. Yeah, speeded up most battles. So I'm just equipping a staff on my Sage there. Yeah, speeding up most battles. I do use Padfoot and Holy Protection still to avoid most of the battles. But when it comes to the enemies in here, yeah, because what you want to do now, you still need, of course, to get some more enemies to fill out your enemy list. And the remaining ones are in these post-game dungeons. So, the ones you'll find in this dungeon, we're going into now. You'll find 5 enemies, which we're going to be doing in this video. So, on floor 3, you'll be able to find enemy number 130 and 131 more easily. And on floor 4, you're going to find enemy 128, 129 and 132 more easily. Basically more chances of encountering them enemies on them floors. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use Padfoot and Holy Protection until I get to floor 3. So this is floor 1. I mean, if you open the map, it's going to tell you that you're on question mark. But yeah, I call this one floor 1. And we're going to avoid most loot except for just a few chests. There's one here. It's got a seed of strength inside, so I'll take that as we pass on by. And by the way, in this area, in the whole of this question mark dungeon, you've got 2 monsters and 3 mini medals. Yeah, 2 monsters to catch and 3 mini medals to find. So yeah, like I say, floor 3 and floor 4 is one way you want to participate in some encounters in order to find all these new enemies in this dungeon. This dungeon kind of comes in 2 halves. You've got this question mark one, then you get like a midway point, like a safe haven, and then you go to the upper part where you find the big boss at the top. Yeah, we're going to do the first half in this video and then the second half and a bit of the final dungeon in part 18. And part 19 will be finishing off the final, part 20 will be finishing off the final dungeon and showing you an optimal way to do all the farming. The farming does take a long time. I have started the farming. I've gone from about 300 kills or 300 battles won to about 600 in about 3 or 4 hours. Well, about two and a half hours probably. Yeah, it's taken quite a while. So yeah, do expect quite a bit of grinding at the end of this. If all this grinding is required in the other 2 remakes when they get released, 1 and 2, I'm not sure if I'm going to play, if I'm honest. I really don't like grinding in games. This game is good. I just really do not like the grinding aspect. Of course, I'm making a guide, so I'm here doing it anyway for guide purposes. But yeah, it's my first Dragon Quest proper RPG, and I have read that they are kind of grinding. They do normally require a bit of grinding anyway, just how Dragon Quest games are, so I've read. I'm not sure how right that is, or if that goes for every single Dragon Quest game there's been. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, for example, all of them. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe there won't be too much grinding in the 1 or 2 remakes. I don't know, we'll see. Hopefully not. Guess we'll find out next year. So this is floor 3 now, which we are in. Floor 3. So you're going to find the enemies 130 and 131. Now that troll is 130, I believe, and that king, the troll and the crab. The King Hydra, you've already fought them as a boss, but these King Hydras, a lot of guys do say that this is a good enemy to farm. The problem is, yes, they do give you a massive chunk of experience, but they take so long to kill. You can get 3 at once, which just seem really great to begin with, because that means 3 times 25,000 experience each. The problem is King Hydra is they can, when they have a turn, they basically get 3 turns at once, which is really unfair. They get 3 turns at once. So if you've got 3 on map, that means they get 9 turns, and you basically get 1 for each of your teammates. So they get 9 versus 4, which is really, really unfair. So it can take ages to fight them. And the thing is as well, they cast sleep and paralyze all sorts. So most of the time you can't even use your actions because you've been debuffed or something like that. But anyway, guys, got a monster here. So yes, grab that monster, the green giant. Yes, with that fork, just go right and grab that monster. If you carry on around the path, you'll find a chest, but I'm leaving it. So yeah, now go back to the fork and then continue south. So that's the first monster of this dungeon, which we've just found. Right, yes, I've taken them out. So yeah, you see me getting quite a few battles now, because like I say, I'm trying to build up the enemy list for this dungeon. Like I say, floor 3, which you are now, and floor 4 is a good spot to find all the enemies, and there should be 5 altogether. I'll show you these 3 King Hydras in a second, and these 3 King Hydras, yes, I speeded this up 1000%, so you can imagine this took 10 times as long to kill these as the length of this actual encounter on the video. Yeah, I speed this up by 1000. But yeah, they'll just keep debuffing you. Each of them will get 3 turns at a time. And yeah, they'll put you to sleep, paralyze you, and most time you hardly never get a chance for all your teammates to perform an action all at once. Normally there'll only be 1 or 2 at a time which can actually attack, which slows the battle down even more. So yeah, how long did this take? Almost a minute, and that speeded up by 1000. So you can imagine using these as a spot to farm. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's that optimal or not. I mean, yes, it's nice. Look how much experience I'm going to get. 75,000. It's a massive chunk, but it just takes so long to kill. Can you imagine defeating them on hard mode? I don't know. I mean, yes, probably eventually. They seem like an enemy type to me that if you encounter them on hard mode, you're supposed to run away, because they would just be an absolute pain in the back. I mean, the way to fight them, you'd have to keep debuffing them, like keep casting sleep on them all. But anyway, guys, yeah, we'll carry on. So I did just want to show you that encounter, just show you how much experience you can get, but also kind of show you that they can be really long and annoying to fight. Yeah, so liquid metal slimes, they always run away. Always run away. When we do get to the final video, I do show you a good few farming spots, and yeah, I just really hate liquid metal slimes. You get 8 in battle, and you think, wow, I've got 8. And there's mountain cleaver, guys. Remember that mountain cleaver we threw away early in the story? Well, here's your other one. Another one which you can keep. Yeah, that one's all for you. Yeah, you get like 8 liquid metal slimes at once. You're like, wow, great. Because it's quite rare to get 8 at once as well. And then they all just run away before we get a chance to kill them all. It's just like, why? They could at least give us like some sort of spell or ability to prevent them from running away, which would have been nice. Just gave us an optimal way to farm, because honestly I just don't think there's any good spot. Every spot has its advantages, but at the same time it's got disadvantages. So it's not really any perfect spot to farm, I don't think. Yeah, so on this floor, guys, floor 4, in the kind of pyramid, if you remember this floor from the pyramid dungeon way back. Yeah, way back. Yeah, so you should get enemies in this one. There should be 3 new enemy types. That should be enemy. Yes, 128. And yeah, loot that chest, guys, for a mini medal. That chest has the first mini medal inside in this dungeon. So yes, loot that chest for that mini medal. Yes, so you got 128, 129 and 132 on this floor. I think I do have to wait around a bit, because when I'm about to leave this floor, I've not encountered one of the enemy types. And I think it's a red kind of wizard looking guy, the red monk. So yeah, I'm just going to wait around here, guys, just triggering a few battles. Yeah, this guy, this red monk, he can actually appear on floor 1 as well, and a few of the other floors. But I found he's got more chance to appear on this one. Yeah, so here she is. Yeah, that red monk on the left, that's the final enemy type of the question mark dungeon. Yeah, so I don't know what to call it. I guess I could call it Citadel, the bottom, or the top, technically, because there'll be stairs you go down later in order to get to Cloud's Gate Citadel. But yeah, these enemy types should have just unlocked, guys, in this part of the dungeon. So yes, from 128 all the way up to 132. So 128, 129, 130, 131 and 132. Should have discovered 5 different enemy types in this dungeon. Right, this floor is actually where I'm going to do a bit of farming later. You see that shrine there? It refills your HP and MP. So it can be a good spot to farm enemies, and you're guaranteed to always get about 3,000 on average per battle. So loot this chest here, guys, for a mini medal. That should be mini medal number 2 in this dungeon. Yeah, mini medal number 2 in this dungeon. And I'm going to loot this chest for a hate mail. You've got one more monster left to get then, and one more mini medal. Yeah, so this is floor 5. So like I say, in this dungeon, you can farm at floor 3. That's where you got the 3 Hydra turrets can appear. They give you massive chunk of experience, but like I say, it takes a long time to kill. You got this floor here, floor 5, where you got a shrine. Shrine is good because it'll refill your HP and MP. Yes, by just walking on it. So if you're just going through battles and using up a lot of your MP, just go on that to get it all back, rather than warping around to find an inn. And of course you've got a slime island back near Talented Tunnel in Alefgard. Right, so up here you're going to find yourself in like this arena. Well, sorry, in the cell first. Now in the top right cell, you're going to find the monster. This is the second monster in this part of the dungeon. So that's it. That should be a second and final monster in this part of this dungeon. Yeah, that orange slime. Right, so you've got that monster. Now we're going to get the third mini medal in this part of the dungeon. Yeah, it should be in the middle. Sorry, in the top left cell. You've got a book in that one. And here it is. Interact that pot, guys, to find the third mini medal. So that's it. We've got the 2 monsters and the 3 mini medals in the question mark dungeon. Right, in this arena, yeah, this small bat will turn into a troll, which is going to take him out. So I guess a terror troll is kind of unmissable. Right, you're going to come in here. This is going to take you into the safe haven, guys. You can go down a few sets of steps and reach Cloud's Gate Citadel. Right, we'll save our game in a minute and leave it there for this video. But first of all, we'll just come over here to greet the king. We'll grab a chest behind him. Yeah, for a heavenly helmet. And we'll get the monster and the mini medal in this save haven area. Yeah, it's 1 mini medal and 1 monster in this save haven. So the monster is all the way over here. It's quite hard to see. Kind of blends in with the flowers. But yeah, that's Mendy. She's over there to the bottom right. So yes, grab that monster. And then we're going to come down these steps, guys, and get the mini medal. And then we'll come back up and save our game. Yes, loot these 2 pots. One will have a ring inside and the other one's got a mini medal. So one's got the mini medal and of course you've got the monster. I'm just going to come outside to unlock this part as a fast travel option. Yeah, Citadel Tower. You don't need to. I mean, later on you can just walk down the steps again. It's just so that when we start part 18 I can just warp straight there. Save you a few seconds. Yes, and then come up here, guys, and save your game at the priest. Yeah, that's what my current stats look like. If you want to have a look, guys, Misk only on 200. Is that 200 or 260 battles? Not a lot. But yeah, I'm going to make a save, guys, and that'll be it for part 18. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on part 19 tomorrow, guys. Only 2 more to go.